Joseph Gozlan with Eureka Business Group, and today we're going to talk about three components to your economic vacancy and what's the difference between economic vacancy and physical vacancy. So the physical vacancy is the easy part, right? If I have a 100-unit apartment complex and I have 10 of them are empty and 90 of them have people in them, that's 10% economic vacancy, end of story. Very simple. The economic vacancy is a little bit more complicated. So there's a lot of things that can get into economic vacancy, but the overall story is money I could get, but I'm not getting. That's the big definition of economic vacancy. So three main buckets in that thing. The first thing is bad debt. If I have people that owe me money that are in the units and I can't collect from them because they're not paying, they're dodging me, they skipped overnight and disappeared, or I had to evict them. Whatever the reason is, they don't pay me, I should collect this, I can't collect this, it's in my economic vacancy bucket. So the first bucket is bad debt. The second bucket is concessions. In some markets, in certain situations, there are concessions. What are concessions? Is basically promotions, specials, whatever you have to do in order to get those units leased. So if you need to do a free month, or if you have to waive admin fees or application fees, or the first 6 weeks for free, and so on and so on. There's a lot of different concessions that people do out there. For example, in our community, we waive admin fees for all the people that are either law enforcement, military, or medical professionals like nurses. So on these occasions, that's money I could collect, but we don't collect. Whether we choose to or we have to, it doesn't matter, but that goes into my economic vacancy. That's another bucket that is in there. So bucket number one, as I said, bad debt. Bucket number two, concessions. Now to bucket number three. Bucket number three is loss to lease. If I have a unit that is leased for less than market rate, that is a loss to lease. So if I have a tenant in a unit and he's paying $700 because that was the market rate last year, and now it's time for renew them and the market rate is $800, and I go to the resident and say, hey, Mr. Resident, we would love to have you renew your lease, and the market rate is now $800 for your unit. And he looks at me and say, hey, Mr. Manager or Mr. Owner or Mr. Property Management, I can't do that. Financially, I would love to stay here and I love you guys and you do a great job, but financially, I can only afford $750. As an owner or an operator, you're gonna have to make the decision, do you take that person out so you can come in, renovate the units, refresh it, get it ready for the next resident, find the next person that wants to lease a unit from you, get him move in, and wait until he moves in and so on. So lose all that money and lose all that time, or you can give up that $50 and keep a resident in the unit. Now there's a lot of reasons why you should or should not do that at any given point, but at the current situation, let's talk about the fact that why spend $2,000 so I can get another $600 a year? I'm gonna keep him, so I'm gonna give him a renewal at $750. That is a loss to lease. So that's the third bucket that we have in economic vacancy, that's loss to lease. So to recap everything, bucket number one is bad debt, bucket number two is concession, and bucket number three is loss to lease. My name is Joseph Gozlan. I'm with Eureka Business Group. You can find us on the website at ebgtexas.com. And if you have any other subject you want us to cover in these conversations, please leave a note beneath on the video and we'll be happy to reply and maybe even build a video especially for your questions. Thank you.